Imagine this. You've been harassed at work. It's midnight, you can't sleep, and you just want to file a complaint. But HR's office is closed now. Who would you turn to? Today, many companies will hand you a chatbot. Spot is one of them. Always on, always listening, and always typing. Efficient? Yes, but here's the problem. Will you trust a chatbot with your deepest workplace fears? That's the tension we face in Industry 4. AI is moving into HR. And the key question isn't can it replace HR, but it is to what extent should AI augment humans? And what does that mean for HR jobs themselves after AI? My name is Cho. Today, I'll walk you through 4 steps to answer that. First is problem identification for why current grievance system underperform. Second is analysis of 3 available strategic options. Third is theoretical justification for the chosen options supported by the job characteristics model. And finally, 2 smart recommendations with a 12-month implementation plan. And now, we need to understand why the current system underperforms. We break down the problem by a MECE problem tree and found out 4 root causes. First, efficiency. HR staffs are overloaded with transactional tasks, delaying complaint resolution. Second, trust. Employees often underreported misconduct for the fear of stigma. And third, capability. HR knows people, but often not AI ethics, bias auditing, and governance. And finally, risk. Poor use of AI can risk bias, privacy breaches, and even breaking the psychological contract with employees. But before jumping to solution from here, we need to choose a model that we will apply to our solution. Using the risk-benefit matrix, we can analyze 3 options. First, AI only. AI only can close efficiency, but blows up risk. An example is Highview, who use algorithmic hiring, but finally got lawsuits because of their AI has bias and discrimination on applicants. Second, HR only. HR only can build trust, but crumbles on efficiency. For example, Uber's 2017 harassment crisis proved what happened when HR only buckles under too many complaints. And finally, we found out that only hybrid balance the trade-offs with low risk and high benefit on the top left. Moreover, this is also confirmed by literature review. In 2024, Dimma and colleagues across 43 studies found out that AI works best when it augments humans, not when it replaces them. So we can choose hybrid, but on the view of the organization, there's a deeper fear. If AI takes over the intake, will it impact the HR jobs? The answer is yes, but on the positive side. Using the Hackman and Oham's job characteristic model, we can see all the elements here. First, skill variety goes up because HR shifts from endless paperwork to investigation, analytics, and ethics, so varied. Second, task identity strengthens because HR once lost in form now regains ownership of outcomes. Third, task significance grows because their work now is no longer just paperwork, it shapes culture and trust. Fourth, autonomy stays. While AI standardizes intake, HR can still control the remaining. And finally, feedback involves because surveys and structure follows up can still ensure employees' voice is heard and HR can still receive feedback. So basically, by giving the boring stuff to AI, HR jobs become more human, more strategic, and more meaningful. So, what should organizations do to make this model work? Via solution mapping, we found out two clear solutions under the hybrid context. The first recommendation is redesign HR roles and reskill. First, the organization should redesign HR roles so that AI take over the intake process while HR maintains responsible for investigation and closure. By automating repetitive logging, HR can focus on higher value tasks such as ensuring fairness and resolving cases. At the same time, a structured reskilling program through learning and development should equip staff with new competencies in AI governance, bias detection, and data ethics. And as a result, within 12 months, at least 75% of HR staff should be certified in AI and data governance, and 90% of the cases need to be directly closed by HR. This not only improves efficiency, but also builds capability while ensuring HR's accountability is preserved. The second recommendation is strengthen governance and feedback. The organization must strengthen governance and feedback mechanisms to build trust and manage risk. A governance board should be established within 3 months to oversee AI use, supported by strict SLAs, requiring HR to follow up within 48 hours of inquiries. In parallel, employee surveys and check-ins should be integrated into the chatbot to capture feedback throughout the process. Furthermore, quarterly reports will track compliance, bias detection, and satisfaction. So, by month 9, this mechanism will be fully operational, achieving 90% SLA compliance and at least 80% of employee satisfaction. Together, this will ensure transparency, reinforce psychological safety, and safeguard the integrity of grievance handling. In terms of execution, we will phase it into 4 key points. Start with the pilot and governance board in the first 3 months, redesign roles and train HR by month 6, integration, governance, and survey by month 9, and fully roll out and continuous improvement by month 12. Step by step, gap by gap, the system will definitely transform. So let's return to our midnight employee. At that time, they can open a chatbot, share their story safely, and within hours, a trained HR professional will follow up, investigate, and resolve, supported by AI input, but grounded in empathy and judgment, and especially context organizational understanding. That is the hybrid grievance system. Remember, AI won't replace HR, but HR and organizations that learn to work with AI will replace ones that don't. Thank you.